Today I'm going to be answering a question that I've been getting a lot lately, which is how is my family balancing our business and homeschooling and having kids in school and still keeping sane. So if you're looking for just some real kind of behind the scenes look into a six-figure entrepreneur mom's world and how we're managing and adjusting in this new COVID world, then stay tuned because I am going to share with you exactly what it's looking like. I'm Amy Walker. I'm a client acquisition specialist, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're excited that you're here. Normally what I'm doing is sharing strategies on how to grow your business and find your ideal clients. But I am also a mom to 5 boys, and I've been getting a lot of questions from clients lately about how I am managing with this new dynamic of the new school year. Normally in September, we're kind of celebrating a little bit that our kids are going back to school, and then we're kind of gearing up for like the really busy evenings and weekends with all of the after school activities. This year is just really, really different. And it definitely, I've been feeling the pressure and I've had to make some adjustments. So I'm going to share with you like what we're doing, what our layout looks like, and then some of the things that I've had to let go of a little bit in order to be able to be successful. I will tell you, it's not always easy. So let's just kind of start off with the lay of the land of what we've got going on. So our oldest son graduated last year. He is working full-time and saving money because he wants to go on a mission. We have our next two that are both in high school. And the schools here, I live in Georgia, the schools are back and they are in person. So as of when I'm making this video, they've been back in school for a week, and one of them has already been sent home because he had a COVID exposure. And so he is home and he's quarantining at home. The other one, they still want going, so it's pretty crazy. And then we decided that our younger two, who are both in elementary school, they struggled last year with distance learning. They really didn't get a lot out of it. They didn't enjoy it. And so we, figuring that this year was going to be a lot of in and out, we made the decision to homeschool them. So we're balancing, a job and those things. And then we've got the two that are in school, out of school. They have extracurriculars that are going on, but it's all very uncertain. And then we're full on homeschooling. So not distance learning where it's provided by the school, like we're legit homeschooling. So a couple things that were really hard for us to decide was, what is going to be the right thing for each kid, and can we accommodate the right thing for each kid, and to what extent? So, for example, with my younger two that are homeschooling, when I sat down, I was like, I don't feel like we can teach every single subject. And so while they didn't want any online classes, they are doing online math because that made it so we could make the schedule work, and they're doing fine with it. So that's kind of the lay of the land. I'm going to share with you what our schedule looks like and how we're working that schedule, and then some just changes that we've had to make into the dynamics in order to be able to get things to work. So I am starting off, I'm waking up early right now. I'm a morning person anyway, but I'm waking up usually today I didn't wake up early because I was tired and I slept in, but normally I'm waking up at like 5 to 5:30, and I get up and I do some personal time. This is my personal journaling time, my personal sanity time, my creation time. Then I get one kid up at 5:30 so that he can do his early morning seminary. I get another kid up at 6 so that he can be ready for the bus, and then those two leave at 7. I am homeschooling from 8 to 9:30. Then they have a break where they get to do 30 minutes of playtime, and then they come back and they do their online math, and then they do chores and they do reading, and then they have lunch and they have a long recess which they can do whatever they want. We have a no screens until 3 p.m. rule. And then my husband comes in and he homeschools for about another hour and a half. And so that's been one thing that I really, really recommend, is that you find ways to, if you co-parent, I know not everybody has a co-parent, but if you co-parent, co-school as well, because it's not just your responsibility to make sure that the kids are having a good education. So then they're done by around 3. and then they get to have just kind of some free play time, so they can play outside, they can ride their bikes, they can get on screens. My older boys have after school activities, so then we are picking them up. So I'm working right now from about 9:30 a.m. until about 4 to 4:30 each day. Then we have dinner together, then we unplug and kind of have some family time. And then sometimes I'm coming back to work to do more things. And I don't like it. I don't like having to come back to work, but the reality is I am losing an hour and a half of work time in the morning, and I need it. And so that is getting made up in other places, usually in the evenings. Now, I do not expect that my schedule works for your schedule or that your family has the same needs as mine does. But what I do want to point out is that when I first came up with this realization that the best thing for my littles was going to be homeschool, I was very overwhelmed with what that was going to actually look like and how we were going to do it. And I've had a lot of friends who are homeschool moms be like, you can't make homeschool like school, just be more flexible, just adjust, just, create a flow that works for them. And I'm like, but that doesn't work for me. I needed structure. I needed to know that I could have set work hours so that I could have clients that can schedule during those set work hours. I really needed structure. So it's okay if, you need more structure to put that in place and to create a context, because you have to be able to be successful at balancing business, balancing family, and balancing school and all the stuff that you're doing. So my first tip for you is to get a schedule in place that works for you and honors your needs and what your business demands, because really your business has certain things it needs. You can't not give it. My second tip for you is to have a no business guilt rule. So I have been demanding about my business time and making everybody else's schedules fit around it, and I am not feeling guilty about it. Because here's the thing, if I didn't protect my business time, it would not happen. It would be the thing that falls through the cracks and doesn't get done. And everybody else's stuff would get done, and then our business would struggle, and my family, this is our sole business. We don't have another thing. This is it. And so I have been really protective of that business time, and I'm not allowing myself to feel any guilt over demanding and protecting that time. It is what's in the best interest of my family. The third thing that we're doing that is working for us is splitting the responsibilities. So we've redistributed some responsibilities. We've redistributed some business things. We've redistributed some household tasks. We have redistributed the schooling. Obviously, we're splitting that. And that splitting of responsibilities, I think, is really important. Sometimes we take a lot on because we're really competent and we're good at getting a lot of things done. And then everyone thinks that everything is our responsibility. So give some of those back to the people that you are working with and the people that you're living with, and let other people, I found myself starting to do a task and going, nope, somebody else can do this, and passing on that task and jumping into something that only I can do. So share the responsibilities. That's going to be a huge success principle that I think is working well for us right now. The fourth thing that we're doing that is working really well, although it is admittedly hard for me, is flexibility. Because I love a plan. I am the mom that at the beginning of the school year gets the calendar for all of the events and hounds them until they give it to me, so I can put every single thing on the calendar, and then I plan travel around it. I plan business events around it. I plan everything around it. So where we are currently not having schedules and things are not planned in advance, it's requiring a lot of flexibility. But what I'm finding is that as I am more flexible, it's lowering my frustration level. It used to be that I was really frustrated if I didn't have the structure in place. And now I'm finding that as I just let go of some things and just go, you know what, I'm just gonna be flexible about it. One son has just been sent home for COVID. I'm just gonna be flexible about that. He doesn't actually have it, by the way. There was a kid in his class who did. That sort of thing, that attitude of flexibility has actually been lowering my stress level. Whereas if I'm really rigid with the expectation, we have to get this many pages done in homeschooling and I have to achieve, this many things on my to-do list in business, that rigidity is actually causing more stress and more pressure and more unhappiness. So that flexibility is good. I'm still practicing it. So I've not mastered it, but I'm practicing it. All right, number 5 has been a big one. So this has been measuring success differently. So I've really had to start measuring success differently. So I still have goals in my business, but what I consider like a winning day or a winning week or a winning month, it's got to look different now than it did before, because I have more extra things that we've added into the mix. Even like with homeschool, what is a successful day of homeschool? I'm going to change that, because in my mind, homeschool was going to be like us sitting together. We were going to have a great time, lots of learning and engagement. They were going to be excited. And that is not the reality for what it is most days. My husband happened to get the fun classes, and I volunteered for the class that they don't like. So a successful day is when they don't cry. Like, that's a successful day. Nobody cries, and they're smiling when they're done. And we still love each other afterwards. Like, all of that, that's determining a successful day. And I had to just change what that definition of success looked like. And that's been good as well, because I was trying to hold myself to my same standard of what I would have been doing last year at this time, and feeling like I was failing. And so instead I was like, okay, let's just look at it. We are successfully keeping our business running, and we're still profitable, and we're still growing, even in pandemic. Even if it's maybe not what I had originally envisioned, everything's still good there. And all the people are still alive. We're making the best decisions for our family. We're communicating, like, relationships are strong. That's a win. And so just really like looking in and changing that definition of success has made me a lot more at peace as I go through this process. And my last thing that we've been working on as a family is adjusting expectations. So some expectations we've had to raise up, like the expectation of the kids to, because they've been home for months, right? So the expectation of them to like take care of their space, that has gone up. The expectation for no screen time has gone up, because this summer it was a little out of control. So some expectations have gone up, some expectations have gone down. And realizing that, like, you know, for example, I am teaching ELA to my kids, and according to the curriculum, it should take 45 to 60 minutes. It takes my kids an hour and a half. So we're giving it an hour and a half, and that is what it is. And we're not stressing about it. We're just adjusting the expectation. And no, I'm not making anyone feel bad about it. But that's what it takes for us. Now, we may get faster as the year goes on, but that's what it takes at this point in time. So we're adjusting the expectation to something that is a little bit more realistic for the current situation and time. Here's what I have learned over the years. When I first launched my business, it was a pretty crazy year. I had a newborn, and within a couple months of launching my business, I had my nephew pass away, my grandma passed away, and a couple months after that, my sister, whose son had passed away, got cancer. And my husband was still working full-time and working nights, and it was crazy. It was a really, really challenging year. And I remember during that year, there were so many times where I felt like I couldn't give my business what it needed. But what I held myself accountable to was giving my business what I could. And that was my thing. It's like, I'm going to give what I can. I'm not going to ask more. I'm not going to accept less. I'm going to give what I can and be honest with myself about what that looks like. So even though I wanted to give my business more, I gave it what I could. And at the end of that year of just launching a brand new company, we had a 6-figure business and 6-figure income. We had, it was just the start of launching so many things. And so I know from firsthand experience that you don't have to put in a perfect effort in order to create a great outcome. So give your life, give your business, give your family what you can, but don't demand more and don't accept less. And if you'll do that, I think you're going to find yourself really pleased with the results that you can produce. And for me, honestly, whenever I live in that space, I'm always kind of amazed at how well things come together, actually, how like blessed all of the efforts are. When I keep my priorities in line and I give what I can give, it always works out. So I know if it works out for me, it's gonna work out for you too. I believe in you, moms. You can do this. We can band together and support each other. It's going to be an interesting year, but I really truly believe that it can be a great one for our kids. I think that's it, my friends. So if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that bell notification and the subscribe button. We can't wait to see you back again. Please leave me a comment. I absolutely love hearing from you. I'd love to hear if there was anything that I shared that makes you maybe have a little bit more peace and perspective in your life and business. And if you haven't done it yet, come join us in our private Facebook group, Acquire. Also, I do have a 30-day challenge. It's called the 30-Day Get More Done Challenge, and it is to help you achieve more peaceful productivity. So stop hustling around and running faster than you have strength, but really just settle into a peaceful, productive zone. So if you haven't done it yet, I think you'll love it. Go ahead and check that out. We'll put the link down below. And that, my friends, is it. I hope that your family is staying healthy and safe, and that you are finding peace and excitement in the new experiences that we get to have in this 2021 school year. Thanks, everyone.